I want to improve, but how do I improve, right? Where am I improving? And we might have like, vague ideas about, hey, improvement means I want to change my perspective. I want to, be more patient, be more kind. A lot of these things are a lot of very general statements we can make and say, hey, I want to improve. But what I found is that if we don't be specific about what that improvement actually looks like, it's going to be very hard to actually make progress on that. Hey guys, welcome to the Level Up Podcast. Today we have an amazing guest with us, Stephanie, who is currently working with us at Our Family Without Borders. She is a proud mother of 5, all the way from Philippines, and she is here to share with us what it means for her to level up in life. And I'll give you a quick chance, Stephanie, to introduce yourself to the camera, let everyone else at home know who you are and what leveling up means to you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from Philippines. I'm 38 years old and a proud mother of 5 children.
Amazing. Every time you said that, like when the first time I met you, 5 children, it's insane to me. I'm sure it takes a lot to raise them up. We have talked all about her children and her experience raising her children in our other podcast, Level Up With Us, over at the CoX3 Family Foundation channel. So if you want to watch that, check that out. But for today, what does leveling up mean to you?
Aiming high.
Aiming high? Can you tell us more about that?
I want to aim high, not for myself, but in order for me to nurture the future of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted to level up.
Interesting. And you drew something on the board here, actually. There's like 3 balloons there. Could you explain that for us?
Actually, it's supposed to be 5 balloons.
Oh, 5 balloons. Okay.
But I just drew 3. 5 balloons represents my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to fly high.
Okay.
I will be the wind to blow them.
Whoa. So what does being the wind mean to you? Like, what is being the wind?
Wind is like a mother, a parent who is trying to blow your kids in the right way. Every parent wants to blow their kids in a right way and to go up.
And eventually they can fly free.
Yeah.
Be
free, but still stay on the track.
Okay. What is the track that you think about? Like, what is the right track then?
Be a good person.
Be a good person. And so when you say that you're the wind for, kids, your kids to grow up to be a good person, I think that's amazing, by the way. I think that's a really good analogy and I love it very much. But can we define better what that wind looks like? So the way I like to think about it is, so obviously the, kids who are the balloons are going to fly. So your wind is blowing left, blowing right, etc., right?
Yes.
What is the quality of your wind? Is it a warm wind? Is it a hot wind? Is it a fierce wind? Describe the wind. Let's keep going with the analogy.
It is a calm kind of wind.
Okay, a calm wind.
That you can fly high,
mm-hmm.
but still you're on track or you're going into a right way of life.
I see.
Of living.
Okay. And tell me more about that. Like, what does being a good person mean to you? Like, how do you hope your children grow up?
I want them to be considerate. I'm empathetic kind of person, which is I experience to you. Right. I want them to understand everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Their kind of perceptions in life. Understand everything as much as they can.
Okay.
So they will be understood too.
So to be understood by understanding others.
Yes.
I love it. And 100% I resonate with that. I think I can definitely, reflect on, there's so many ways that, I've tried to have other people understand me in the past, right? Oh, you try telling people things and you hope they understand, right? You try writing it down. You try yelling it from the top of your lungs, right? But fundamentally, what I found the best way to help other people understand you is to listen, right?
Yes.
To see how they see the world. And through that, actually, you understand yourself a lot better. Yeah. So how successful would you say you are right now with being the wind, the calm wind for your children? Like how, if you had to rate a scale or, I think some people have issues like with a scale, like it's harder for them to think about it that way, but how satisfied are you with your progress to being your best self?
Me as a mother before, maybe I can rate myself within 3 or 4%.
Oh, 3 or 4% out of
Yeah.
100.
Out of 100.
Wow.
No, 10.
Oh, 10. Okay. So 3 to 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, not percent. So
Yeah.
30 to 40%. So 3 to 4 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, like
Got it.
And from all those circumstances and experiences that happen in my life, it makes me more stronger. And I'm here now talking in front of you. You're interviewing me. And I'm happy living with you here, working here. And it has contributed me much more than I am before. As a mother, as a person. I think on my percentage, my rate now is I'm not that perfect. Trying to be perfect, trying to reach the level of 10, but I know I can't. But still I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it and I'm willing to pursue it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm in 6 to 7% now.
Oh, 6 to 7
Yeah,
out of 10.
being a mother.
Okay. Wow.
To them. And you had a lot of contribution about it.
Oh, thank you. How did I help?
The way you talk to me, the way I am sharing with you all those happenings way back in the Philippines and how you approach me, how you talk with me on how to deal with so many circumstances and happening in way back there.
If you could like break it down, like, do you think it's just a matter of the communication that we did together, or like just for people at home to kind of understand what were the conversations? We had so many amazing conversations, right? And I'm so happy I helped you, by the way. But what specifically about them helped you? What was the turning point?
It's the communication between your employer. Being an employer and the employee doesn't just end there. You have to share some stuff, share some things that your employer would be understand you how. Why is she like this? Why is he like that? It's in the way of understanding each other. You need to share so you'll be understand. You need to share who you are in order for you to grow also. And if you didn't share, you were just like letting people think who you are.
That's important, actually, right? If you don't talk about things, if you don't tell people what you're thinking, then they can only assume, right? And I think that's something that was really helpful here, actually. And maybe to share a bit of my side and my experience with working with Steph, where, I think there's so many amazing things that you have gone through, right? That you have definitely more trials and tribulations than many of us can imagine. But I think the beauty of it is that you've gone through it, but that also means that you have a certain perspective of the world. You have your unique perspective, right? You have the way that you are living your life that is protecting yourself, right, from potential danger. And it's absolutely normal. That's the way everyone is. But I think what we've learned here in this house, which I really love, and you can also tell me a bit about that as well, but I think is you've learned to open up, right, and share when you need help. You learned how to ask for help, and you know now that you can get it here, right? It's not something that people are willing to help you. People are willing to support you. And I think maybe that experience wasn't the same before for you.
Yes, sir. This house and the people inside the house is a safe place to open up share some of your thoughts, ideas, and everything.
Yeah. So speaking of the house, this episode is sponsored by Our Family Without Borders. It's an amazing co-living space where people can really grow, learn, and live with amazing people around the world. And the most important thing is that what we do is we're curating an environment where everyone's eager to support each other to level up, to learn something new. And really one of our philosophies is that if we're all learning on this journey, why don't we learn together? Right? Why have a situation where you have housemates that don't want to listen to you, that don't want to be with you, and don't want to be part of your journey? I think that's a horrible place to be in. And I think there's so many of us that has had this experience, right? Whether it be living with family or living with people that we don't want to be with, and we are the average of the 5 people around us. So why don't we surround ourselves with amazing people that really want us to level up and grow together?
The environment here in the house was so positive. I've been grateful being here on how Sir Conrad and some housemates reciprocates everybody's way of interacting each other
Mm, yeah.
and treating you as a family. Even you didn't came from a same branch of family
Yeah, because family is who you choose to
to
be
be with.
around, right? And I think the family we choose to be with is even more important than family we're born with because we get to choose. And then
Mm.
I choose to be with you and I choose to be with everyone in the house and I choose to spend my days here happily learning and discussing these amazing things and being inspired by each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this family helps a lot, makes me grow more stronger to face life. And it's make it makes my life more better in my everyday living. This house is so positive in a ways on how we are, how we treat each other, the harmony that you will feel the first time I came here in the house.
Yeah, you mentioned like it was like back in the province.
Yeah.
Like the air blowing through. It's a beautiful space with filled with beautiful people. And if you're ever in Singapore or Japan or in any other places that we're going to be opening up around the world, do check us out at ourfamilywithoutborders.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it would be fulfilling.
Yes. Now back to the episode. I would love to then kind of dive into that so what is level 10 to you, right? Since you use like there's out of 10, what is the perfect Stephanie? And I don't think there's a perfect Stephanie, by the way, but what is that best person that you aspire to be?
Best person, and I will still include a parent.
Okay.
The parent. Um, 10% with me is I can do the stable future of my kids. The assurance of they grow well being a nice person, a successful one in their careers,
Hmm.
and that's all.
Okay. How do you get there? Have you thought about because you said you're a 7, you want to get to 10, right? So how do you get from 7 to 10? What do you think needs to change?
It's like a battle for me, sir.
Okay.
I need to fill up myself first.
Mm.
I need more knowledge. I need more experience. I need everything that could help me to build a better future for my kids.
Mm.
That's why all the information, all those thoughts, and your understanding with me as a person helped me a lot
Mm.
to build myself in order for me to repeal so I can pour it to my children. Like I'm sharing it with them on how Sir Conrad communicate with me, on how Sir Conrad treat me like a human. I also pour it to them.
I see. So, what else do you think you need to learn that you want to pass on to your children, right? What else to fill yourself up, right? What else needs to be filled? What do you think your next thing to learn is?
My next thing to learn is, as I've told you, I want to aim high.
Mm.
In order for me to blow them,
Okay.
I also need to fly.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to stay like this. I want a self growth within my career through my education. I want to practice my education. I want to earn more so I can earn more. So I can afford what they want to be in the future.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
It's okay with me. No. Not literally okay with me that there's nothing left for me. But in a 10% of earnings, I want 80% for them. 20% is okay with me.
I see. So, how do you think your career can grow? Where do you want to grow as a person, and where does that take your career?
I want to study.
Okay. How? I'll study what? What do you want to study?
Because here in Singapore, there's a standards that could the Philippine education or the standards there couldn't fit or match here. So I need to study to practice the knowledge that I know from the Philippines.
I see. What do you want to study? Like which field?
My caregiving career, sir.
Oh, okay. I like that. Tell me more about that.
As a mother is a nurturing kind. So I want to nurture everybody too. I want to nurture some people who needs nurturing, like elder people.
Sure.
That no one's beside them.
That's a lovely aspiration. I love that.
Yes. Like an elderly houses like so. As my friend also working in there, their children just drop them there and leave. And
it's a very sad place. I don't think it's. I mean, there are some elderly homes that are very good, well run, that have events and everything. But I think for the most part, it's a very lonely place, and they get mistreated a lot, right? Yeah. So that's where you want to go eventually.
Yeah, I want to cheer them.
Okay.
I want to contribute something good in them.
I love that. And how do you think you're going to proceed on this journey? How do you get there?
By asking you.
Asking me? What do you mean?
By asking you, sir, will you let me study every Sunday? Yes, sir. I'm serious with with being me, wanted to grow more and to help others too.
Yeah. And I think this is a lovely aspiration for you to be able to help, in my opinion, like a group of people that really could use the help, right? They definitely want to feel human, right? I think a lot of times when people are being dropped off at old care homes, they're still human, right?
Yes.
They have a lot of things that they still want to contribute to the world. And that's a lot of what we want to do too, right? Open up and see what they can share, because there's so much to share. We have a wealth of experience, right? That we can learn from them. And so, of course, you can study. That's not a question, but I want to know, like, is there anything that is blocking you that you think from you achieving this goal, or you think 100% you can achieve it? You have absolute confidence that you can achieve this goal.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can achieve it.
Nice.
It only depends on me.
Mm.
It only depends on how I handle myself,
Mm-hmm.
how to inspire my own self to grow more
Mm.
and not just being stagnant.
Okay.
Me, as only one child,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really experience how to be a good daughter to my parent,
Mm.
that I'm able to take care of them,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm married. I focus on my married life, and if there's a chances that my parents are sick, I'm not able to be there with them.
I see.
So I want to, if I cannot do that with my parent, I want to do it in some other
I see.
that I can help.
So you feel like it's some way to not say make up, right? But do it for someone because you didn't have the chance to do it for your own parents. I see. Well, that's lovely. I think that's really important. Okay. And so that's the career aspiration that you have, and I love it. And so I guess, yeah, there's nothing stopping you. Okay. Do you want?
It's only on our perceptions in life, sir.
Mm-hmm.
If we are willing to do it,
Mm-hmm.
there's still a way, and you can still figure out a way
Okay.
on how you can do it.
I love it. I love it. And is there anything that I can do to help you on that journey? Like, obviously, allowing you to go is one thing, but like something else that I can just help in any way.
There's nothing for me to ask, sir,
Mm-hmm.
because every day you were helping me,
Okay.
and I appreciate it.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay. I guess then in regards to leveling up, when do you think, like, so actually let's start from the beginning. So for leveling up, you say that before you're at, 3, right? 2, 3, as a parent, right? As a person, you're now 6, 7, right? You say, and you're trying to get to 10. Um, from 6, 7 to 10, what do you think needs to happen?
Needs to happen.
Yeah. How do you get from 6 to 10?
I need to work more harder
Mm-hmm.
and motivate myself,
Mm-hmm.
motivate my mindset on how to pursue, on how to reach the 10%.
Okay. Do you think you're motivated as a person? Are you a motivated person?
I'm on process, sir.
Okay.
And this house really helps a lot being me as a person.
Mm. Tell me more about that. Like, what's the process? When you wake up in the morning, are you motivated?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm being motivated every morning. Just be grateful that you wake up in the morning. Be grateful that you're going to see all the people inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them, share with them, and everything.
Mm. Okay. And so, when do you feel not motivated? Like, when do you lose motivation?
There are times that I'm not motivated
Mm-hmm.
due to some problems way back, but I didn't let myself to dwell in it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I need to be a positive person
Mm.
in order for me to grow. If I
Okay.
dwell on those negative ones and staying not motivated, there's nothing will happen for me to me.
Mm. Okay. But I think like what I'm trying to get to like is, you know, I think those are wonderful things actually that you've done for yourself. I think that's a wonderful way to like bring you um, out of your mood at that moment, right? And motivate yourself. And I'm just curious, like, because you say that, what's the change that you want from 7 to 10 is to be more motivated. What does that mean? Like, does it mean that every day you have more motivation? Does it mean you have more skills to, tackle when you're not motivated? Like, what does that mean?
Improving oneself, sir.
Okay.
As I am a kind of person that being so impatient before,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm more patient, considerate, and empathetic with my some of my friends and especially my kids.
Mm. Okay.
So I am leveling up.
Already leveling up. I see.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On process.
In process. So I'm going to ask this again. It might sound repetitive, right? Sorry, but I think this is important because I think there's something here that's really cool, right? So what is that process, right? You are getting better. I think that's fantastic. But what is that missing piece? Because I want to help you with that missing piece. I want to help you unlock that as well. So what is the process and what do you think is still missing?
I cannot say what is missing, sir. It's like it's just there's an instance that it's just fill up.
Okay, let's talk about that. So what instance? What kind of instance?
I can't say, sir.
Okay.
There's some circumstances or some happenings or scenario that's just happened, and then there's some approach, and then there's some approach empty ones, and then you were just there and fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand, sir?
Try. No, I think this is good. Please, let's talk about it.
Yeah, like I will set an example or just a scenario on how I am being a mother to my kids.
Right.
I've been telling you how am I, and then there's an empty spot there being a parent. And when I share it with you, you feel those empty space being me as a mother. It feels like you seal it. You seal it through your words and for the information that you were telling me. And then it feels like when I throw myself on how I talk to my kids, there's no empty space now. And you contributed on it. On the way I am being a calmer one from a impatient kind of mother. Feels like you feel you feel calmness.
Yeah.
On being me impatient on my children.
Right. I understand. And thanks for sharing that. I think that's great to hear. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like, you're calmer, but like, I think maybe there's a better way to ask this is that, do you still find yourself in times when you cannot be calm? You are still, or are you calm all the time? Are you perfect already?
There are some times, sir, but I can control it.
You can control. Really? Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome.
I can control it.
Okay.
Before I throw some words, I type some words. I try to to pause first and think of it. Is it proper for me? Is it proper to message this kind of paragraphs to my kids?
Yeah.
Would I hurt their feelings and everything? Yeah. And then I try to rewrite it if it's a strike one, so I need to be more calmer and let them understand.
And basically like try again.
Yes, sir.
I see. That's really good. I like that. I like that you are catching yourself before you send something, right? Because I think that's so important. Like, actually, there's something we talked about quite a bit, which is, you know, a lot of times the way that you structure your words will cause the other person to think a certain way. It's not on purpose, right? Because you have your own feelings and your own perspective. And when you talk, you're just trying to explain what you're feeling. But to them, because they have their own baggage and they see their situation their way, all they might perceive is, oh no, like they're angry at me, they hate me, I'm scared. And once fear and scared comes in, they retreat, right?
Yes,
They're not
sir.
going to engage. So I think that's wonderful that you're finding yourself and stopping yourself from saying something that can't be taken back. Well, I guess everything can be taken back, but just enough time, right? You need to, work it out again.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So then, like, next time we speak, let's say in like 3 to 6 months on this podcast, right? What would you hope to have accomplished by then? Individually, as a person, as a mother, right? In your career, all three things, what would you hope to have improved by then?
All of it.
How? What is improvement?
My improvement being a mother will be more nurturing to them through words, through relationships with them, and me as on my career.
Yeah.
I want to see myself stable
Okay.
and just focus on it, sir.
Mm. Okay.
No more extracurricular activities, which is not good.
So focusing on training yourself,
Yes.
being a better caretaker. Okay, I love it. With your kids, focusing on being more nurturing, even, right? Again, I think we want to define that a bit better if we can, right? What does more nurturing mean? But then also for yourself, how do you think you will level up in the next 3 to 6 months?
It's all self improvement, sir.
Okay. What kind of self improvement?
Me being as a person, my perspective on every aspects in life,
Mm-hmm.
my perspective being having a stable job, having a good career, and being a much better kind of mother to my kids.
Mm.
That's all I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah. No, I love that. And, I think what I like to do in these situations where really to help you kind of structure, right, what leveling up means to you, because I think this is something that maybe a lot of people can experience is that, hey, I want to improve, but how do I improve, right? Where am I improving? And we might have like, vague ideas about, hey, improvement means I want to change my perspective. I want to, be more patient, be more kind. A lot of these things are a lot of very general statements we can make and say, hey, I want to improve. But what I found is that if we don't be specific about what that improvement actually looks like, it's going to be very hard to actually make progress on that, right? And so what I love about where we're at right now is you've already done so many things right. I think right now you're in the accumulation phase. You're trying to learn as many things as you can, right? You're learning things from us and here in the house. You're learning things from, I'm sure, your church group, right? You're learning things from online. I see you watching podcasts all the time, right? And listening to them. So you are always learning, which is so important. And what that learning is all for is that you're trying to build your own worldview of the world. You're trying to build your own systems to figure out how to live the world, how to interact with the world to get what you want, how to build a stable career, right? How to be your best self. So what I'm going to offer you as a piece of advice here, right, and to support you on this is that I really recommend we figure out what exactly is going to be different in 3 to 6 months, right? You say you want to be a better person. You want to say you want to change your perspective, learn more things. What do you want to learn? I think we need to really be specific on those so that we can maximize your chances of actually getting there, right? So let's spend a minute. Let's think about that. What do you want to have achieved by the next time we talk? So as an example, right, you said that you want to be diligent with training, right? Let's say we start training this Sunday. By 3 months time, you should have your certification. Yes? Okay, so that's one thing you can promise to yourself. Not promise to me, promise to yourself. Let's say you have certification, right? What else can you promise to yourself?
By loving myself more.
Loving yourself more. Okay, I love that. What does that mean?
I'm getting so emotional. Because I prepare to love other people than me,
Okay.
than myself. I prepare to prioritize others than myself.
Mm.
It's like me, a selfish kind of person. Selfless.
Mm.
In order for me to, I'm a giver, sir.
Yeah.
I'm a giver kind of person. So I want to level up within myself.
Yeah.
I need to pour more love within me.
Yes. Love that. I'm so happy you shared that. And I think it's so important that you said that because so many people can resonate with this, right? We all can remember that we want to do our best to give, but we need to remember that we need to love ourselves and we need to be whole to give everything that we want to give, right? Our tank cannot go to zero. If we go to zero, we cannot help anybody. We're of no help to anybody, right? So I think this is super important. I love that you are saying this, right? I love you for saying that you're going to love yourself. And I think one thing I can do to support you here is that I think a lot of times we think the opposite of being selfless is to be selfish, right? But I don't think that's the case. I don't think you need to be selfish, right? Because what you're actually going to do is you're going to say, hey, I'm going to learn to love myself so I can love other people more,
Yes.
right? Okay. So how are you going to love yourself in these 3 months?
By letting myself grow
Tell me more.
emotionally.
Okay.
The 5 characteristic of emotional intelligence. I must practice and improve it.
Okay. How is that loving yourself?
I need to be more aware within myself,
Okay.
my
Yes.
emotional stage, my social skills, on
Okay.
how to interact with people, on how to understand more.
How's that loving yourself? Interacting with people, social skills. How's that yourself?
By social skills, I interact with people.
But you said that that's your answer to loving yourself, right? So
Yes.
how is that loving yourself?
My mind is floating, sir.
Oh, it's fine. Let's think about this because I think this is important. This is how I can really help you. If you can unlock this, everything is going to change for you. So let's help. I'm only helping you unlock. Again, you're smart. You know this. There's nothing you don't know.
My self-awareness.
Okay.
I need to be aware of my own emotions,
Okay.
my own feelings.
Okay.
Because I've told you I'm a giver.
Mm-hmm.
I always give love without expecting someone will return it back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts me a lot that being a giver is not that so good for me as a human being.
Yeah? Why is it not good?
Because it breaks me down.
Okay. I can understand that. How does it break you down?
Within my emotions, and then I just let myself drown in it.
When does it break you down? When do you drown in your emotions?
Mm, at my previous relationship
Okay.
with my husband, I just give and give chances, understand and everything, and then knowing those deeds that he do, it just strikes back like after all I've done to him, this is all I get.
Mm. So do you think that what you give to him, you should get back?
We can't force or mold people to reciprocate on us.
Mm-hmm.
But as a human being, I think it's normal
Mm-hmm.
that we also need the love that we give.
Mm.
We also think of the people to reciprocate
Yeah.
with us on how we are to them.
Okay. So would you say that you're waiting for them to give back to you?
Not at all, sir.
Not anymore, right?
Not anymore.
Okay. So who's going to give you that love now?
Myself.
Okay.
Me, myself, and I.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
include my children also.
Okay.
And the people is around me.
Yeah. So how are you going to give yourself love now? What would you used to do for someone else that now you're going to do for yourself?
Can't I-
Just think of something that you used to do for your ex or something that you used to do for someone else that you really wish they would do for you. What's that? Give an example.
I can't think of anything, sir, about how am I going to love myself as the way I love those persons or my my ex. It comes natural.
Okay. Just remember back to something that you used to do. It's important for us to get to something concrete because that's how we're going to level up. So let's focus on something. What is something that you used to do to someone to show that you care and you love them?
I think understand to understand more myself.
Okay. So you will understand them and you will hope that they understand you. So now instead of waiting for them to understand you, you're going to understand yourself. Okay.
I need to learn more about myself.
Okay.
I need to know more who I am.
I love that. Okay.
Who I am, how the way I am,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's some things or some aspects that I need to improve, I need to change by understanding my own,
Mm-hmm.
I think I can do it.
I love that. And how are you going to understand yourself?
Your question is getting deeper. Sir.
It's fine. Take your time to answer.
How am I going to understand myself? by taking myself out of the box.
Interesting. What does that mean?
It's like it's like you're watching a movie
Okay.
that it's me on the screen
Mm-hmm.
doing the scenario, and oh, she must not do that thing. She must do this instead of
Mm,
doing that.
okay. So taking yourself out and making conscious decisions,
Yes.
thinking about what's happening, right? And processing that. So it's almost like catching yourself in the moment of when something's happening and thinking about it.
Yes.
And then what questions will you ask yourself?
Questions about myself.
So you're taking yourself out of the box. You take yourself out of the box, then what do? You ask yourself questions, right?
Why are you like that?
Okay. So we just learned something, right? How do we talk instead to our children and to each other? Do you think if you asked why are you like that, do you think she'll be scared? She will go in and don't want to answer?
Maybe she'll step back.
Yeah. Is there a different way we can ask that question?
Yeah.
How would you ask it?
I will ask, like, instead of asking why, maybe I could say some story about for them to mirror out and analyze what they did, what they
Okay.
do.
Okay. Do you think that will work?
As it worked for me,
Hmm.
as you've done to me, it
Okay.
works. So it will work to my
Your
kids.
inner self. Your inner self, right?
Yeah, my innocence.
Okay. Do you think there's other questions that you could ask as well instead of a why question?
I think there's no question further than that. It's only on self-improving and be more aware on how am I being a person? How am I in general?
Okay. So let's focus on that because, again, this is so important. You're very close. Okay. Let's recap a bit because you said a lot of very important things, right? To love yourself is to understand yourself. And you realize that because what you hoped when you were loving others was for them to understand you, right? So you can skip all that, just understand yourself so you don't need someone else to understand you. Wonderful. You said that you're going to understand yourself by taking yourself out of the box, which means that you are going to think before you do something, before you react, right? And you're going to talk. When you say take yourself out of the box, you're talking to your inner self, right? You're going to put your inner self down and you're going to talk to her. Now, the question is, what do you say to her, right? And we have already established that if you say, why are you doing that? Wow, so scary. You're like, oh, I don't want to. You don't want to be there, right? And your inner self doesn't want that, or your inner self will be scared. So instead, what your inner self might want to hear instead is, oh, how come you made that decision? I'd love to know how you think, right? What are you looking to do? What do you want to accomplish here, right? What do you want to achieve? And listen to your inner self because your inner self right now is hurt. You haven't talked to her in a long time, right? And she wants to be understood. People out there haven't understood her for a long time. So she wants to be heard And you're there to listen, right? Not there to share her with a story. That's later. For now, you're just there to listen. You ask her how, you ask her what, you don't ask her why. She doesn't know why. She just knows that she's trying her best. And that's enough. You need to tell her that it's enough to just be trying your best. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that is going to be how you're going to level up. I really look forward to seeing how that will improve your self-awareness, right? Your relationship with yourself. And I think if there's any last things you'd like to share, right, with anyone who might be in your shoes, anyone who might be like you, who's going through something like you're going through, is there anything you'd like to tell them?
Just jump into understanding yourself first.
Yeah. And you don't need anyone else to understand you. If you understand yourself, then eventually others can understand you through you because you know what to say to them and share with them. Yeah. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting.
Bye-bye.